How about it? He comes and goes on a rainbow. He's the magical culture blaster, Michael Snyder. What's up, Culture Blaster?
Just call me the redheaded stepchild, beaten and thrown into the corner of the Mark Thompson show. The very last seconds, those waning minutes of the show.
We're running behind, but you can take all the time you need. We'll lose Kim, but we'll continue on with you. Don't need to call your report.
We'll
continue on as long
There's never
as
been anything like this.
Since Trump has just spent some quality time at the Fulton County jailhouse, do you think any inmates tried to give him the rod of equity and mercy,
How dare
so to
you.
speak?
I get it.
Oh, my God. By the way, I forwarded you the hilarious Photoshop mugshots done by Happy Toast. You can find Happy Toast on Facebook and what have you, where he has put a lot of Trump's cronies in the guise of the various villains of the Batman TV show. Hilarious. And we waited and waited and waited till yesterday for, yes, the Joker finally made his appearance, Mr. Trump himself. Speaking of
it was the old Batman Joker from the TV series.
Yeah, it was so much the old Batman Joker from the TV series that they photoshopped a little Cesar Romero mustache on his upper lip. It was just genius, complete genius.
Tom says that waning is a ding word.
Sure.
Okay. Hey, by the way, I've got some Cesar Romero trivia.
Oh, please. I love the fact that his Joker, that he didn't say ha ha ha. He said hoo hoo hoo.
Yes.
As I recollect.
Cesar Romero, question for you, Michael Snyder, who knows everything. Cesar Romero, born in this country or not?
I would say not. No, I would say yes. He was born in this country, and not only was he born in this country, they buried Caesar. They didn't praise him. He's gone now.
Oh, that's very, very good. Well done. And you're right. He was born in this country. All right. Continue, sir. Go ahead.
Anyway, speaking of mugshots, by the way, where's my official Mark Thompson show mug, Mark? This is
one
killing
came
me.
in just yesterday. You were going to get one today.
Oh, excellent. So the weekend's new movies bring to mind the Greek master of second-rate drama, Mediocrities, because, oh, my God.
I'm not so happy with them.
Things could be better, but let's get into it. There is some merit to be found, and if you know me, I'm always embracing the merit when it comes down the pike. We're going to begin with Golda, if you don't mind. Golda is a prestige mix of later life biopic and docudrama about the person who might have been the most beloved, respected, gutsy, and controversial prime minister of the state of Israel, Golda Meir. It's tense and tragic at times, the movie. It's a bit too stately and ponderous at others, but through it all, Helen Mirren brings gravitas and authenticity as Golda, disappearing into the role.
Gravitas, authenticity, something else you said.
I don't know. Primarily, the movie shows us the elderly and ill Golda facing crisis after crisis from outside and within when Israel faces off against Egypt during the 19-day-long Yom Kippur War in 1973. And all the while, she's enduring radiation treatment for what ails her.
Wow.
To be fair, the movie seems more about the war than Golda, even if she's in the middle of things. It does have merit, though, especially regarding the depiction of the country's leaders wrestling with the moral dilemmas of war from the safety of a situation room, which is often the case with our leaders.
Sure.
Golda means well, the movie, and it has that fine-tuned and believable performance from Mirren at its center. But we learn very little about the how and why she became the leader of her country, or much about her personal life. And on the plus side, we get some scenes with Mirren as Golda engaging with Henry Kissinger, played by Liev Schreiber, who sort of gets the voice and demeanor, but never the girth of Nixon's controversial Secretary of State.
Henry Kissinger talked like that.
We should have had you in the role, Mark.
Yeah, I could have dubbed him.
There's another plus. Camille Cotin of TV's Call My Agent plays Golda's aide-de-camp. This is directed by Guy Nativ and written by Nicholas Martin, and it's an informative history lesson to a point. It's got some ticking clock tension as the existence of Israel is on the line. It has a kind of a gritty cinema verite look, and it has Mirren, who alone makes it a worthwhile watch. And again, she's totally Golda, nose and all. And you know about the Bradley Cooper, Leonard Bernstein prosthetic nose issue, right?
Oh.
Have you heard about this?
No.
Cooper isn't Jewish, and he's wearing a fake nose in the upcoming Bernstein biopic. And there's been a lot of hue and cry about this for some reason, but I haven't heard many similar complaints about Mirren as Golda. Maybe it's a matter of time, but all told, Golda strikes me as something that will play well at home when it becomes available. Again, it has merit. Right now, it's in theaters.
I have a question. This has come up in the chat.
Sure.
Is Helen Mirren the grandmother of Jennifer Lawrence?
I don't believe so.
I don't think so either. Maybe
sounds,
I'm misreading it. I haven't followed it. Jennifer Lawrence's grandmother says.
Maybe, I don't know, aesthetically.
I'll double check it. I mean, I don't know.
Google it.
All right, we'll Google it.
Let's
Go
move
ahead.
on
Yes,
beyond the
please.
waste of time.
Yeah.
Bottoms won't be for everyone, and it's a bit of a challenge to criticize. Basically, it's about two horny, misfit teenage lesbians and best friends, PJ and Josie, who are determined to bed two of their high school's most popular girls. Both of the coveted girls are cheerleaders, one being the girlfriend of the entitled Golden Boy quarterback of the football team. Set your goals high, I guess. I don't know. In order to lose their outsider status and, by the way, their virginity, PJ and Josie decide to start a fight club in the guise of school-sanctioned feminist self-defense extracurricular activity, complete with a teacher as an advisor. The idea is that a number of female classmates, including the cheerleaders, will join the group because there have been some off-campus assaults of co-eds, and this will enable PJ and Josie to get next to their targets. Their romantic targets, not their physically violent targets.
I get it.
Meanwhile, the girls are all pounding the hell out of one another, and that would be, by the way, fist pounding, although PJ and Josie hope that that's going to lead to the other kind of pounding. Sure. Bottoms is like the movie But I'm a Cheerleader, which some of you may recall, only with more slapstick that escalates into gleeful violence and explicit language. It helps that Josie's played by the comically astute and, I don't know, seemingly omnipresent Ayo Edebiri from FX's The Bear, and PJ is played by the antic Rachel Sennett, who co-wrote the screenplay of Bottoms with director Emma Seligman. Punky Johnson of SNL has some good moments as Josie's feckless mother. That's a ding word. And of all people, Marshawn Lynch, former running back, the former running back for the hated Seattle Seahawks, and more briefly the Raiders, plays the Fight Club's faculty advisor, and he's actually pretty damned amusing, especially in some end credit outtakes. And it takes a lot for a Niner fan to say anything good about Marshawn Lynch, which is why I said hated Seattle Seahawks. For those of you in L.A.,
right.
Oh, my God. So it's sharply written and often funny in a very broad, anything goes way, and the actors are on their game, but it does go way over the top to a point where some of the ha-has feel a little forced. More frequently than not, the anarchy is bracing, although I'm feeling a little raunched out after Joyride and Strays. Perhaps Bottoms will do for lesbian teen rom-coms what Bros did for gay male rom-coms, and in any case, it's smack you in the face electric.
Wow. So I thought you weren't going to like it, but it actually...
No, it's in select theaters. Our LA audience members can check it out, and I think next week it hits San Francisco and other markets.
All right. Very good.
Okay, so moving along, has Liam Neeson gone to the action picture well once too often? I ask you. Yeah. And the answer is sure, but sometimes it's worth the trip. Retribution, the latest from Grandpa Certain Set of Skills, has its moments, but it does feel like it's a formula that needs some refreshing. Here, Neeson is Matt Turner, a self-absorbed Berlin, Germany-based financial manager of questionable morals who disregards his wife and kids until he's reluctantly driving his son and daughter to school, and he gets a call on his cell phone informing him that there is a pressure-sensitive bomb under his car seat. So Matt is going to have to do what the caller says or, kaboom. Instead of give me back my daughter, it's let me, my son, and my daughter out of my car. Anyway, despite the promise of the premise, this is pretty boilerplate stuff. I watched it.
Let me just understand this. The kids are in the car too?
Oh, yeah. He's driving the kids to school.
Right.
They're in the back seat. His tush is on the trigger, essentially.
Okay.
Tush on the trigger was the working title of Retribution, by the way.
Come on.
Anyway, I watched it. I was somewhat diverted, but it needed better plotting, despite this crazy premise, more intriguing crises for him to face, and a bit more plausibility, since it's not supposed to be a live-action cartoon like the Mission Impossible movies. Hampering things, the character Neeson plays is kind of a sourpuss, and I know he oftentimes plays a sourpuss, but in this case, and his family is not particularly likable, so it's hard to invest in the well-being of any of them. It's up to the premise and plotting to make this work, but the setup and the execution of the requisite evil plan and how the villain expects to get away with it are singularly unimpressive.
Requisite.
It does feature Matthew Modine as Matt's business partner and Embeth Davidtz as Matt's wife. Nimrod Antal directed in kind of workmanlike fashion, but there's only so much Neeson can do in a car seat for almost 90 minutes. You know, when I sit in a car for 90 minutes, I get spielkas, as my grandmother used to say.
Well, I'll ding that.
Anyway,
right.
This is my idea of wait and watch when it streams, you know. So,
yeah.
Retribution, currently in theaters.
I have a Liam Neeson question for you.
Oh, go for it.
I've given you a Cesar Romero question.
Okay.
Now I have Liam Neeson trivia.
Shoot.
How old is Liam Neeson?
I would guess he's 70.
70, says Michael.
Maybe
Snyder.
71.
Well, what do you want, 70 or 71?
Or 72. I don't know, but this is a
you need
classic Mark Thompson time waster.
You need to pick
Mark,
one.
the clock is ticking.
I'll give you, this will be 20 seconds. I'll give you 20 seconds to guess. You've had three. You put 70, 71, and 72. Which one do you want?
I say 72.
Nancy says 68. 73 says Pauline. Russ says, Le Commentaire says 75. Wow. 70, says Russ. The answer is... I think he's 71. All right, moving on.
Is there anything more subjective than a sense of humor? Yeah, but one person's lame is often another person's lame as well. And in the case of Vacation Friends 2, lame is how I would describe it. It's the sequel to the slightly more amusing comedy Vacation Friends, which was a relentlessly contrived, slapstick, lowbrow buddy comedy with two mismatched couples, one uptight and the other kind of out of control, muddling through crazy situations during a tropical getaway and eventually warming up to one another. And now we have Vacation Friends 2, which is more of the same from the first movie. John Cena is again Ron, the muscle man park ranger, with the ditzy loose cannon wife, Kyla, played by Meredith Hagner. And your pal, Lil Rel Howery, is back as Marcus, the button-down construction business boss, with the straight-laced wife, Emily, played by Yvonne Orji. And they're thrown together in the first movie and now are presumably friends who are celebrating the wedding of Ron and Kyla, who, by the way, have a newborn being cared for by a male nanny who is a holdover character from the first movie. They're all at a Caribbean resort where Marcus secretly hopes to make a deal with the hotel's Korean ownership to construct a luxury hotel in his hometown of Chicago.
Sure.
Straight up, right in, no problem.
Yeah, no problem. You're there, make it happen.
Culture clash. Yeah, okay. Cena and Howery are so naturally funny and engaging that it's a pity. And the game actresses playing their wives are caught in another maelstrom of strained humor and ridiculous circumstances. And there is a new addition to the ho-hum hijinks. The great Steve Buscemi plays Kyla's career criminal father, who is planning to rip off a group of gun-toting island gangsters. I wonder whether a life-threatening situation will develop. I wonder. Anyway, if you're looking for a fun vacation, I suggest revisiting the National Lampoon variety.
Oh, sure. Yeah. You like those
case.
vacations better than this one.
Oh, considerably. Vacation Friends 2 is on Hulu, as is the first one. Caveat emptor.
Oh, caveat emptor, certainly.
One more quickie?
One more quickly, sir.
All right. Bank of Dave is maybe my favorite film of all these. It's another warm, slightly whimsical, feel-good British comedy. This one based on a true story, but it's also a movie of the genre that champions the ordinary Joes and Jills as they confront, I guess you'd call them the oppressive one-percenters. So there's not a lot of depth to it, but Rory Kinnear, who is great at everything he does, British character actor who occasionally takes a lead, he plays Dave Fishwick, a working-class good guy who's made millions as a van salesman in Burnley, Lancashire, which is a formerly thriving mill town that's fallen on hard times. Dave has successfully loaned scads of money to locals who have thrived and repaid him and won him to basically invest their profits. So Dave wants to start his own local bank to accommodate them, and this is something the UK banking establishment based in London and led by your requisite greedy banker, played by Hugh Bonneville, by the way. This is something they want to quash and fast, so it's up to Dave, London lawyer Hugh, played by Joel Fry, and all of Dave's family and friends in Burnley to fight back. Along the way, Lancashire's own superstar rock band Def Leppard gets involved. Really. It's a crowd pleaser, directed with a light touch by Chris Fogan, and of course it's elevated by its messaging, and of course Kinnear, as well as Fry. And as the lawyer's love interest, Netflix subscription owners, it's Phoebe Dynevor of Bridgerton. If you like Bridgerton, Phoebe's on board. As fluffy as it was, I felt my time was well invested in Bank of Dave. It's in theaters and streaming right now.
I love it. Quash is a ding word, I'm told. Okay. I will go through. Bank of Dave sounds interesting, especially when you consider the fact that it is based on a true story. British comedy with Rory Kinnear heading it up.
It's sweet.
It's a sweet story. I mean,
you know Rory Kinnear from Game of Thrones and Penny Dreadful and
We
Black
Need
Mirror.
Sweet and I Need Bank of Dave. It's in theaters. Vacation Friends 2 brings back all those kids from Vacation Friends 1, yet they've added the Steve Buscemi character, and it's a little bit too much. Michael feels it misses. Wait for it on streaming.
It's only on streaming. It's on Hulu. And Bank of Dave
Wait for it to not be available anymore.
Bank of Dave is currently streaming as well, by the way.
Okay. Well, you could have told me that.
I did, of course.
No, I mean when I said in
you
theaters.
were looking up Liam Neeson's age, I think.
Well, you know what? Maybe I was, Michael. Speaking of Liam Neeson, Retribution was the film that Michael just felt just left him without a good feeling.
Hungering for better Liam Neeson movies.
Yeah, he's got a special set of skills. Let's get a movie that actually uses those skills. Bottoms is the teen sex romp, it sounds like. PJ and Josie trying to get into trysts. They want their adolescent rolling around time. Michael didn't really like it.
No, I liked it. I didn't love it, but I did like it.
Okay, I'm sorry. So you liked it and didn't love it. Golda, the Helen Mirren champed movie about the Prime Minister, Golda Meir. He felt that there was so much there, but that they maybe concentrated on a couple of the wrong things, is what I got. A little too much war is what I got from your review.
That part is well done. You know what it was like? It was like the castor oil movie. You know, it's good for you, and there's certain merit to it, but the taste isn't always what you're looking for.
I don't want a signed reading. I like to, or signed viewing. I like to see it. But you felt it was, what, B-? What would you say?
Yeah, I was, because of Helen Mirren's performance, which is unimpeachably good.
Unimpeachably is a ding word. That is a great look around what is happening, Michael. It's hard for me to think that we got it all in the requisite time, but we did. And I am excited to also tell everyone that you will be joining us for the meet and greet on Monday.
I will attempt to in the second hour. I will be at a screening.
You'll be at a screening.
And then when I get out of the screening, I'm going to run to my car and I'm going to turn on Zoom and attempt to reach out to the beautiful people of the Mark Thompson Show audience.
I love that plan. We will have the rainbow ready. He comes and goes on a rainbow. He's the culture blaster. Michael Snyder, go Giants.
Go Niners, go Giants.
Niners.
Rock and roll, people.